Hello artists, today we are going to make pinch pot hearts. You should have picked up some clay from the school and it's in a Ziploc bag. You're going to use the whole chunk for your project. So you're going to open up your Ziploc bag and you're going to take it out. And your first job is to make this square into a circle. So I like to kind of just squish it in my hands. Or you can also roll it around in your hands, and some people roll it on the table. But the goal is to try to make sure you get rid of all of these wrinkles, because these cracks can turn into a really big crack when you are pinching it to make it big. And if you have some cracks that you're having a hard time getting out of, you can use your finger. Did you know that your finger is like an eraser with clay? That one was kind of big, so I have a nice round shape and I don't see any big cracks. So now I'm ready to start my pinch pot. So when you do a pinch pot, you give it a thumbs up and then your thumb goes down and it goes into the clay. And you're going to keep the clay in your palm. So as you push down, you got to have a strong finger, because if it's a wiggly finger, it's just going to collapse. You got to use your muscles and push. And then pay attention, because you're going to start feeling it pushing on the bottom in your palm. And when you start to feel that pressure, that tells you that you're deep enough. And then you're going to take your thumb out and you have a hole. Now it's time to start pinching. And when we pinch, we do a talk, talk, talk motion, like a duck bill. And the thumb will go on the inside, and you're going to wrap your fingers all the way around the clay, and it's going to stay in your palm. And I'm going to pinch and turn. Pinch and turn. Notice how I'm pinching at the very bottom of the clay first, so that I don't run out of room for my fingers. And I'm just going to keep doing that all the way around. So now I've made it one turn. Okay, I am giving some pressure. You can see how my fingers are making indentations. Now I'm going to keep doing this, and I'm going to work my way up. So I pinch and turn, pinch and turn. And as I do this, I'm trying to keep track of how thick my clay is. You want to have your clay about a ½ inch, so about this thick between your fingers, so you got to sort of pay attention to that. And I just keep pinching and turning until I get to about a ½ inch. Now notice that the top is starting to crack. That's okay, but I am not pinching on the top. I pinch on the edge, but I don't pinch the very top. If I pinch the very top, it's going to get really thin and fragile. So now I can put both thumbs in once it's big enough and work on my shape. So now I have a pretty consistent thickness throughout my pot. So my next step is to work on smoothing out the rim. I don't want to have any of those cracks. So I'm just going to take my finger and I'm going to smooth it together. And just a little bit of pressure will do that. So now we have a pinch pot. But the next thing is to turn it into a heart, because we're going to make a pinch pot heart. So we're going to set it on the table because we don't want it to be wobbly. See how this is really kind of wobbly? So I'm going to push it down on the bottom a little bit so that it will sit nice. And then to shape this like a heart, we're going to use our hands and we're going to put our palms together, or the heels of our hands together, and we're going to curve around to make a heart with our fingers. So I'm going to put my hands on either side, and I'm going to pinch at the bottom, and then I'm going to use my fingers to push in at the top. Now this doesn't make the perfect heart shape, but it's pretty close. So to finalize it now, I'm going to take one finger, and I'm going to push it in, and I'm going to use my other two fingers to push against it the opposite way. So my thumb and my pointer finger are pushing out, my other pointer finger is pushing in. And that makes a nice heart shape, and if I wanted to, I could even pinch it so that it's pointed. And there I have my pinch pot heart. I can just do any final smoothing that I want to do so that I have a nice smooth edge, no sharp edges, no points, no rough spots. And then I am done with my pinch pot. So now that I am done with my pinch pot heart and I'm happy with it, I'm gonna turn this over, and on the flat part, I'm gonna write my name and my class code. I'm just using a pencil. You can use a pencil too. They work really well. And the trick with clay is that you want to use soft pressure when you are writing on it. And then my class code for kindergarten is K for kindergarten, and then you have Mrs. Tukendorf, so it's TUK. Because this is the way that I'm going to be able to get these back to you, so your name is super important. If you're having a hard time with this part, maybe ask one of your adults to help you. And then the final step is to place it back into the Ziploc bag, and you're going to zip it up. We're going to keep it moist until you drop it off, and there is your pinch pot heart.